This meme is always so funny because what game is this? And it's toxic over competitive players. It's people that play for fun. So if you're in a lobby generally with people that are over competitive or toxic in the nature that they are playing, that means that you're trying to relax, right? You're the relaxing gamer, and they're the sweaty gamer. This is generally the sentiment of people who say they don't want skill-based matchmaking, right? When it comes to explicitly Call of Duty. We're like, oh, I just play for fun. I don't want to play against sweat lords every single match. People who grind Call of Duty 12 hours a day. But in that same breath, if you think about it, you're in a lobby with them, that means you're good enough at the game, right? So, are you really playing for fun if what you want to do is the opposite? What happens is, if there's no skill-based matchmaking, or in a world where you're trying to play for fun and everyone else is also playing for fun, right? Or they're worse players, you become this person instead of this person, right? So there's no real active balance. But I kind of want to look at some of the games people said in the comments, and laugh, right? Because when you think about this sentiment, the sentiment basically only refers to people who consider themselves bad at something or want something to be easier, especially competitive stuff, right? Like, if you're playing any multiplayer game, and I think some people put that in the comments, if you're playing any multiplayer game, you're going to run into people who are playing for fun as well. And they're playing for fun is playing to win, or playing to get a lot of kills, or playing to get better. Those are all ways to have fun, right? So being toxic and over competitive, in a sense, is playing for fun for some people, right? I think when I play Yu-Gi-Oh, or when I look at the Yu-Gi-Oh Discords, the Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel Discords, and the Facebook group, there's a giant Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel Facebook group. The people who complain the most are actually the casual players. They complain about the competitive players ruining the game. The competitive players are just like, yeah, I play like the best decks. I play like Branded. I play Vanquish Soul. I play Kashtira. I play Pearly. They're so fun. Like, I mean, I like this format. It's pretty good. I've played in worse formats, but this format's solid, right? And then you're like, people like, ew, you play Pearly? Fuck you. You ruined the game for me. You make this game so over competitive and boring. The sentiment always comes from these people. It always comes from these people who say that they're playing for fun, but if they were playing for fun, then they wouldn't mind losing, because winning isn't the fun aspect for you, right? I would hope. The fun aspect is enjoying the game, and if you're not enjoying the game, maybe play something else. So let's look at some of the games people say. This one's obvious. Any online-based game, any multiplayer game, duh, super obvious, of course. Everyone wants to win. That's just kind of how it works. Most people, when they play for fun, they're not playing to lose. Even when you think of fun, you think of winning, generally, right? Or the path that you want to play in to win. And if someone can't let you play in that style or that vein to win the game, you're not having fun. Even if you do your thing, generally you're not having fun, right? We call those, there's like 3 types of people in card games. There's like the Johnnies, the Timmies, the Spikes, right? And the Johnnies are basically in the middle. The Timmies want to do a cool thing, and even if they lose doing their cool thing, they're like, I got to do my cool thing. Don't really care. That was fun, right? Like, so the guy at the commander table, if you're playing Magic the Gathering, that just wants to like wipe the board for everybody. They're just like, reset. Like, I made everyone lose all their creatures, right? Or if you're playing Mario Party, the person who just wants to like randomize everything. Like, I want everyone's stars or everyone's coins right now at Bowser to be randomized. That's the Timmy, right? The Spike, on the other hand, is like, I know how to play every single minigame. I have gotten the most efficient at each. I know the perfect timing to mash on my buttons on my Nintendo Switch controller to make the most things happen on the screen on Mario Party, right? Or I know every single drift angle in Mario Kart, right? The Johnny is like, oh, well, I'll pick up the item boxes, I'll race on the track, I'll kind of slide around the turns the way I think I'm supposed to, but it doesn't work, right? So those are the 3 kinds of players, and that sentiment exists in every single game of any kind that can be enjoyed with other people, right? Fighting games, card games, shooting games, racing games, party games, arena fighters like Smash, right? Any of those things, you will have those styles of player. So let's look at some other games. Dead by Daylight. I wonder why people play this and then complain about it. I see so many people play this and then just complain that it sucks or complains that it's too toxic or competitive. I played one game of Dead by Daylight. I've never played it since. I've never had a desire to play it again. It wasn't for me. More like, what game isn't it? And then someone said League of Legends, specifically the side games. I don't know what that means. Okay. But League of Legends, sure. Okay. Fortnite, World of Warcraft. I don't know how World of Warcraft... Isn't World of Warcraft like RuneScape? So can't you enjoy the game in your own way, regardless of what's happening on the screen? Right, like I'm playing RuneScape right now on the side of doing this, and I'm just mining stuff. And if someone's like mining more efficiently than me, I don't care. Like if they're like, Luminite ore is actually the worst XP in the game, you should be mining coal for fucking 20 minutes and you would quadruple your XP from Luminite, you idiot. Sorry, I picked coal. I mean, I picked Luminite. I'm mining Luminite, but this one's weird. This one's real weird. Because, like, why do you care what other people are doing if they're, like, playing the game more efficiently or whatever? Especially because it's, like, sure, it's an MMO, but generally you're enjoying the World of Warcraft experience. The experience of World of Warcraft solo, right? Unless you're playing with, like, friends or whatever. But you generally don't have to care what the other players in the game are doing unless they're actively, like, griefing you and making things you're trying to purchase or things you're trying to sell tank in value or go up in value so you can't get them, but that's just like market manipulation. That's not over toxic competitiveness. Rainbow Six Siege players easily. All right, anyone who says Rainbow Six or Tarkov, Rainbow Six, Tarkov, CS:GO, or Valorant, if you're playing these games for fun and your fun isn't trying to hold angles, trying to play objective and coordinate with a team, you're playing the wrong video game. I'm sorry. I'm not a hater. I want people to have fun in video games the way they should probably be played. I mean, the way they want to, but especially in games like that, they're meant to be played a specific way, and you kind of have to, right? Like, if you don't, then everyone's gonna be mad at you. You can be mad at everyone else you want, like, but you're the one doing the offbeat weird shit that's getting the rest of the team killed. That's making everyone lose, right? Or feeding the enemy team and making them happy. Like, they're like, yeah, let's fucking go. Woo-hoo. Like, you know, there's definitely a way to play a game like Rainbow Six Siege, a game like Valorant. If you're not playing that way and you're trying to do off the beat path, you're actually the one who's fucking everything up. Just so you know. Overwatch 2. Never played it. Never played Overwatch 2. If it's anything like Overwatch 1 or like Paladins or like Battleborn, I don't know, these like team-based arena shooters, MOBAs almost, right? I think these all kind of fall into the same category. They're competitive in nature, right? Because there's an objective to push, or there's a nexus to capture, or there's a point to hold, like a capture point or something like that. So I don't know how you could play these games and not attempt to play seriously in some manner, right? Sure, maybe there's off the beaten path game modes and there's limited time modes that are supposed to be like fun, like snowball fights and things like that, but generally I believe that the point of these games is to be a little more competitive. It's very awkward looking at some of these and being like, how do you play Overwatch 2 for fun? I'm confused. Like, are you not doing what the enemy team is also doing? Like trying to shoot people, trying to push the payload? I wish they explained how they had fun. Like, what are they doing to play for just fun? All of them. Fortnite, COD, Battlefield. I don't know what the fuck this is. CSGO. Mainly any FPS or PvP game that people feel they need to be the best at. These peeps are the same reason I left those games and the main reason I don't go back, except for Battlefield 4, but only with homies. Good times. I just love when people who get constructive criticism or are asked to do something as a specific category, like why are you asking a flank to kill a sniper, and they go off on a tantrum about playing for fun or feeding to teach us a lesson. It's very strange, right? Because, I mean, you picked the category of flank And a flank's job is like get behind the enemy team and pick off strong backline heroes or healers, right? That's like the point of a flank. I play for fun. I think I play Paladins for fun. I don't consider myself a competitive at all Paladins player. But when I pick a flank, I think my job as a flank is to get in the backline and fuck shit up in the backline. When I'm tank, generally, I try to stay on point because I think my job is to sit there and take as much damage as possible and allow us to either move the payload or capture the payload, right? That's my job, isn't it? Isn't that what that role entails? So if I'm playing for fun, I still want to play my role. It seems very strange that people don't it's almost like they want the game to be different and they're not ready for the game to be played the way that it was meant to be. Very strange. Like say you're playing like a TF2 and there's like a healer class, right? And you don't heal anybody. You never heal anybody. And everyone's like, dude, why are you healer? Like just like play like the gunner or something. Why are you playing like the healer? Play the spy, you know? They're like, well, I want to play healer. I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, you're actually just actively making the game harder for your teammates, which is really strange, especially because those are the people on your team. You probably want your team to have fun too, more than likely, right? And then the enemy doesn't care. They're not like, oh, there's a healer on our backline with no one back here to, you know, heal. He's by himself. Let's kill him. Like it seems really simple. Smash for sure. This is easily solvable, I think, because you don't have to play like if you're playing Smash and you're playing online explicitly right now, right? If you're playing Smash online, there's like Elite Smash and then there's non-Elite Smash. There's like Elite Smash is like you have like certain like Smash points or whatever, right? Which is like the upper echelon of the game. And there's also online modes where there's items and stuff. So like if you're playing in the modes with items, this is almost always solved. People will be probably proficient with items, but that just comes from playing the game a lot. So like, oh, I know I can grab this specific item. I know I can punch it back. I know I can shield it, and I'm plus or minus whatever, right? But this is like easily solvable. If you want to play Smash for fun, do you not have friends? Like just play with your friends, and if your friends are overly competitive, as you say, maybe you're just bad. Maybe you're just the bad one, and everyone else is like a little bit better, and that's okay. But Smash being on this is crazy. That's super easily solvable by just playing with friends. I think most of these are solvable by just playing with friends who also want to have fun in whatever your manner or definition of fun is. Anything played online or on my family couch. Man, if your family's that over competitive and you're the bad one, you just gotta hold that shit, Mr. Keith. You get over it. Pokemon. I don't know if he means the card game or if he means the video game like VGC. That's also solvable. Find a better play group that isn't so competitive in nature, that just wants to use their favorite Pokemon on a team and didn't like spec out their Pokemon to be like perfectly proficient in every single thing. Like, I like these moves, so I put them on my Pokemon, and I beat the Elite Four with them, so good enough for me. I already finished the game. I'm gonna play some online. It's that simple. Destiny 2. Hogwarts Legacy is funny because like, how do you? What? This has got to be a joke. I'm sure this is a joke. Overwatch, League of Legends, Dota, CS. I don't understand the CS one. I don't get it. I like Overwatch, League of Legends, Dota. Sure, whatever, man. You're trying to fucking play in jungle as a mid laner. Fuck if I know, dude. Sure, right? A lot of the time, people who get yelled at for being overly competitive are just good players having fun. Yeah, me. You don't know how many times I've been like yelled at or called a smurf for like a toxic competitive player in something like, oh look, here it is right here, in something like Street Fighter, specifically because I have 2 master rank characters, but I just go in the battle hub and I just dick around in battle hub. Like, sure, sometimes I get mad when I'm like, I'm trying to do something and it doesn't come out. It pisses me off because I know what I'm doing. Like, I know how to play the video game, but generally I'm just in the battle hub to have fun and have good matches. I think I lost to some JP player, like, I don't know, like fucking 30-1 or something, or like 15-1. I was like, you bring your ass back here. I want to beat you at least once, right? But I was having fun losing to him because it was tough. It was hard. It was mentally challenging, right? I'm just in the battle hub to relax, but when I get one of those brain on matches, I'm having fun. When I have those brain off matches, I'm still having fun because I like Street Fighter generally. And when some people, I play against them and they're like, dude, you're way too good. Like, what the fuck is your problem? I'm like, oh, this is my first Street Fighter. And they're like, no, it's not. You're a Smurf. You've been playing Street Fighter since Street Fighter Third Strike. I can feel it. And I'm like, I've really never played. Like, I played like 30 seconds of fucking Ultra 4. And I played one game of Street Fighter 5. Like, I don't play Street Fighter. I'm new to this. And they're like, no, you're a fucking Smurf and you should get out of the battle hub and stop bullying us low level players. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna argue with this random person on the internet. I don't care enough. It happens a lot. It explicitly happens a lot in fighting games. When you play in like lobbies. If you're playing in like a lobby or you're playing in like the battle lounge or whatever, the battle hub, whatever it be called, the little arcade cabinets, instead of playing ranked, like you're the highest rank in the game and they're like, you need to play ranked, go play ranked, get the fuck out of the lobbies. Lobbies are for bad players like me who just want to have fun, and if good players are in here and they want to have fun, fuck you, go play ranked. Like, go grind a legend, you moron, fuck you. Like, we actually get more shit just being randomly good at the game but not trying to be. Like, I wanted to get to master. That was my goal. My goal was to not to be good at Street Fighter. My goal was just, make it a master. Make it a master with the characters you like. It wasn't like become a god. Like, that wasn't the goal, right? Like, your goal's not like, I want to be the best Sky in the world. Your current goal is, I want to get gold skin with Sky, which means you're level 50. But that means at some point you've kind of become at least proficient with a character. So does that make you overly competitive and toxic? In their eyes, I guess so. This is another one. This one's funny. Lately, for me, it's been the finals. This game was built with being competitive and being sweaty and try hard in mind. It's all about team play, positioning, understanding player tendencies, and capturing objectives. Every single one of those things is about being sweaty and competitive. If you don't want to do that, turn on another fucking video game. For the love of God, play something else. Like, I want to see what the comments to this are. For real, light movement demons are a pain in my ass or something. Okay. Well, no one's actually just telling him that he's an idiot and he's playing the wrong game, but that's okay. We saw Street Fighter here. I'm gonna have to tell you, Mr. Chris, you're probably just bad at Street Fighter if you think that Street Fighter is overly competitive. Sorry. Go play with people in ranked that are around your skill, right? Because there's skill-based matchmaking in the game. So what you're asking for is skill-based matchmaking, clearly, right? Or have a varied experience and play in the battle hub or play in lobbies. And occasionally you'll find people around your skill and maybe you'll have fun, and occasionally you won't, right? All of these are actually arguments. Every single one of these, everyone's saying this, they're basically arguing for skill-based matchmaking without saying it, right? Because if they're just trying to play for fun, generally, they're bad. Generally, they're just not good at the game, or they don't play it in a way to be good at the game. And that's okay, and their rank will generally reflect that. And if it does, then you will be placed in lobbies with other people around your skill level or that have similar skill sets. You're advocating for skill-based matchmaking in every single argument for all of these. Apex Legends, Fortnite, Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering. Mortal Kombat. Look at that. I think any multiplayer game has an aspect to competitiveness to it. I'm crying. Yeah, exactly. This shit made me laugh because I'm sure they're thinking the exact same thing I did. Every one of these games has a competitive aspect to it. So if you're not ready for that competitive aspect, keep being in lower level lobbies and just play ranked, or play them with friends. Over competitive toxic players don't ruin the game for you. The game is meant to be played that way, and you don't like it. This one's a perfect example. I'm actually really glad that someone explained why. They said, Shinobi Strikers love the game to death, but the players who abuse meta ruin the game's amazing PvP experience. So the people who are playing the most efficiently, what meta means is most efficient tactic available. The people who are playing the game most efficiently are ruining the game. Did you maybe think that the developers designed the game for the most efficient tactical available to be the thing you're supposed to use? just the thought, just the simple thought. And if you use that thing, you get higher up in the ranks. And if you don't use that thing, you stay low in the ranks. And when you stay low in the ranks, you're more likely to run into people in the matchmaking system that are also low in their ranks and not using the meta thing. Eventually, those people in the meta things, right? So I'll go ahead and let me throw this out here. So when I first started playing Street Fighter 6, I started in silver with DJ because I wanted to learn DJ from scratch instead of playing Kimberly first, because I played Kimberly during the beta. I knew I could make it to Master with Kimberly. It wasn't going to be a problem. My Kimberly win rate was crazy when I made it to Master, but back on the topic of DJ, with DJ explicitly, I had to start from silver because I didn't understand anything about the character and I barely understood the game. When I started, I didn't struggle with anyone in silver because I already had a baseline understanding of what my character did, right? It was just about not losing to their character, right? I figured it out very quickly because, of course, I'm proficient at fighting games. I understand them at least to some degree more than most people that would probably be stuck in silver or bronze in a fighting game, right? So I very quickly made it out of silver. The people who were probably angry at me when I was in silver didn't have to play against people like me for long if they're still in silver, because those people that were in silver stomped them and made their way out of silver very quickly. Same thing with gold, right? Like, so say people in gold were like, dude, this guy's way too good to be in gold. He's a smurf. Fuck this guy. I hope this guy is, I don't know, I hope his kids come out ugly or something. He's an over-toxic competitive player. He reacts to DI. He knows how to use his supers. He punishes all my strings because all I do is press buttons. That player, absolutely, that style of player, that person who would complain this way, absolutely is more than likely still in gold, still in silver, still in platinum. And those people who are over-toxic have slowly risen in the ranks. They have gotten further away from these players who say these things. So, in games with very strict skill-based matchmaking, you are less likely to run into these players frequently. If you are one of the people who is playing for fun and hates over competitive players, then you'll get away from that very quickly and won't have to deal with it anymore. And occasionally there'll be one or two that they just started, so they're climbing their way through the ranks and they're going to beat the shit out of you, and then you never have to play them again. You'll play more people who are playing similar to you. If you are still having a problem with people who are playing similar to you, and you're still saying that they're over toxic and competitive and you're not having fun, that is 100% a skill issue. That's absolutely on you. You're bad. You gotta hold that shit. Maybe go play Animal Crossing or single player Pokemon or, I don't know, Super Mario Odyssey. I don't know what to tell you. But generally it's pretty easily solved by just playing with friends on a more serious note. Playing with friends, continuing to just play in your ranked brackets, right? Using the skill-based matchmaking to its abilities, to the best of its abilities, and letting it find matches close to people of your own skill. I understand the hate of people who are playing at a skill far above your level. When I play against someone who's extremely far above my level, it's hard to have fun. And if you're playing against someone far below your level, more than likely, unless you just like pub stomping, you're probably also not having fun, right? Whenever I play against people in the Battle Hub, because I play a lot of Battle Hub for Street Fighter 6, when I play against people who are very much so below my level, not close at all, I can only play them a few games because I get bored. I'm like, okay, well, I beat this guy 5 games straight. I'll leave, right? Say I'm playing against someone who's closer in skill to me. I'll play them for way more games, whether they're win or lose. I played against someone who beat me like at least 10 games, and then I took one and he left because I double perfected him, I think, right? But he left, but I stayed for all those ass whoopings. And the reason why I stayed for all those, because they were all so close and it was so fun and it was like a nice back and forth and give and tug. And that's what me as a player, I want. Some people don't want that. Some people don't want to feel that, and it's frustrating for them. Sure. Then continue to play ranked and hope that you play against people close to your own skill where there'll be blow-ups and upsets every single time, back and forth, back and forth. But the sentiment that this is the norm, this is how people think about video games, oops. Sorry, my mouse went to shit. That this is the norm right here, right? Overtoxic competitive players ruining the game for people who play for fun. I'm going to be quite honest, is almost always the opposite. It's generally the people who are extremely casual. They get mad at people who are decent. Not even always just like, you're not playing with, an esports level pro. You're playing with some Joe Schmo who's just like decent enough at the game and somehow got you in their bracket. They got you in their skill-based matchmaking lobby, which means if you don't know, that means you're about as good as they are. Or the algorithm fucked up. One or the other. I see this in every aspect of gaming that's multiplayer. That's just how it's going to work. People are going to feel this way. It's okay, but at the same time, it's generally very, very annoying to view it this way. Whether you're on either side of the coin, I don't care which side of the coin you're on. Say you're a competitive player and you think casual players are ruining your fun. They're just trying to have their fun a different way. It's it's a give and take. You just want to make sure everyone's having fun with the game. I feel so bad for developers now that I think about it, because you have to design a game that's fun casually and fun competitively, and fun somewhere in the middle for those people who just happen to be proficient at your game without being an esports level pro. I don't think I could do it. I honestly don't think I could do it.